first of all, and this is something that is important to me, the majority of researchers make positive experiences when they speak publicly. Nevertheless, and this is something we found out also in a survey that we did together with the German Center of Higher Education and Science Studies last year, about 50% of the researchers have experienced forms of hostility. Most of them actually criticism, and also 7% reported, for example, hate speech, and 2% reported death threats. So we have to take that serious, of course. And you ask when, I think it has to do a lot with the transformation in the digital infrastructure we actually experience everywhere. Also, researchers are more available on social media, and in that sense also more available both to feedback and to forms of hostility. And at the same time, more and more researchers understand themselves as public intellectuals. They understand science communication as part of their job. And this, of course, also makes them more available to any forms of attacks. Well, the consequences are, of course, severe. You could say that attacks also lead to silencing. Attacks can lead to withdrawal from public discourse. They can also lead to undermining the credibility of scientists themselves. There was a study also, I think, 3 years ago, where they actually showed two scenarios that are most common when researchers face forms of hostility, and that were flight or fight. So flight actually means withdrawing from public discourse, while fighting means developing strategies to cope with any forms of hostility. Again, it might be important to also look at the statistic when it comes to polarization. At my organization, Science in Dialogue, we do an annual population survey in Germany. And the focal point this year was also polarization. And we found out that the large majority of the German population actually perceives a high level of polarization, while they are very much in agreement about most of the critical debates we actually have at the moment. So, for example, climate or gender. I think this shows that to a certain degree, polarization is also very much a communicative problem. And this doesn't make it less severe, because we need the voices of researchers actually in public debate, and especially in polarized debates. So to a certain degree, I think this is a huge problem for public discourse. And of course, we all know that an open society depends on free science, and free science depends on an open society.